Hello there. Happy Tuesday. Owen here. I am super glad to be talking to you today about three do's and don'ts for speaking out on social media right now. So, why am I talking to you about this subject? It's one that's a little close to me. I got an unexpected slap last week. I will leave the platform name out of it, but I will just tell you right now. I've been doing a lot of research and hearing a lot of the experts that I've been talking to in the digital marketing space, particularly, and a lot of advertisers and people who are really involved right now in what's going on with a lot of the social media, and everybody is scrambling. Facebook is scrambling, Google is scrambling, YouTube is scrambling. Um, Lots of Twitter, everyone is trying to figure out what it is, like kind of how we feel about all of this. And all of these platforms are trying to make sure that everything stays really valuable for everybody who's watching their platform, everybody on Facebook, everybody on Instagram, everybody on Twitter, everybody on YouTube. Everyone's trying to figure out exactly what do the people in our country think about what is going on right now with with the coronavirus changing everything about how we work, how we play, how we interact with each other. And from day to day, like, everything is constantly changing. Right now, we're seeing too, like, a lot of celebrities got together to put out some inspirational posts on Instagram about their quarantines and their lockdowns, and they are catching hell for it. People are not liking at all what they're saying. Some very popular celebrities who, just even a week or two ago had really avid followings are now being labeled tone deaf because they didn't make the jump fast enough into what our conversation is right now about how we all feel about the way that the world works. We're going to see in a very short period of time a lot of, like, transfer of wealth from one place to another. People who are on the bottom are about to be on the top, and vice versa. And it's happening very, very fast. So understanding what it is that you're saying, and understanding what you want to say, what people want to hear right now. I mean, it's really important. So even on all of this too, I saw on YouTube they have a warning up at the top now saying that some content might come down for violations, even if it doesn't have a violation, just because now with so many people working remotely, the algorithms are going, really on overdrive at the moment, and everyone's sort of really relying on that to happen. And so it's important to know, like, it's the Wild West everywhere right now, right? I know people who are just keeping on doing what they're doing their, saying the same things that they always have, and now they're being flagged just because our environment has changed so quickly. Think about where you were last Tuesday. Think about where you were this time last Tuesday. I'll tell you, for me, it was just a few days after our mayor in LA, Eric Garcetti, had announced that we were going to have this Safer at Home program here in Los Angeles, as I know many other cities are in California. And I know it's worse in New York, like way worse in New York. And San Francisco is really having a tough time too. But it's really bad in New York right now. And I remember, at the time when that announcement came out, it's like, okay, wow, like this is the world starting to happen. And now, even just 7 days later, right? Like, I'm not having these awkward moments on the sidewalk where it's like, oh, should we walk away from each other? Should, we walk in the middle of the street? Like, I've adjusted, right? Many of us have adjusted. But new problems have appeared out of nowhere that we never would have expected. Like, we're seeing right now, there are walkouts at Amazon and Instacart. Instacart, an app that I doubt that that you might have even been using before. I know I sure wasn't using it before. Now it's like right up at the top, right? So now here we've got a company even that was just a sort of a back shelf app and is now all of a sudden on top of the world, right? These are huge, massive changes in our conversation, in how we talk to each other, in what is going on in the world right now. So while that's happening, right, you see, again, I said the celebrities are not adjusting their messages, and now they are taking crap for it. Another thing that has happened, InfoWars. It's a very I think more conspiracy theory kind of application, kind of media channel. And many of the platforms, like I think Facebook and Twitter, had taken InfoWars accounts down before, but now Google has moved and just taken them off their, I think, the Play Store altogether. So you can't download that app any longer. Now, many people don't agree with what InfoWars is. I don't listen to it very often myself. As I read about it, is that they were spreading a lot of disinformation. But this is what we've come to now, right? Is that usually before, somebody was allowed to spout off under free speech, the walls are closing in a little bit at the moment, particularly when this speech runs through other channels that need to watch out for themselves. There really are no rules at the moment. It's hard to tell what's going on. People are being really, really, really careful. So what does this mean for you? Like, why am I telling this to you? You might not be an advertiser. You might not be doing a lot of digital marketing right now, but now is an excellent time if you aren't already. And I see a lot of people who are getting started right now, and it's super exciting. I love seeing this. People who are getting started right now, starting online channels, doing a lot of lives, kind of like what I'm doing with you here, right? And we need this so badly right now. It's good for the world, and it's good for you. Like, if you're somebody who has found yourself with a lot of extra time on your hands, if you found yourself not working, like I know yesterday in the previous video we talked about a friend who felt really good and when he was working, but now that he can't work any longer, he's just feeling really bad. So if that's you and you want to feel better, you want to get into action, it's something you can really do right now is start communicating, start building your community online, and speaking out, sharing what's going on with you is a really, really important way to do that. And doing that regularly is a really, really important way to do it. We need it. One of my mentors has talked a lot about the concept of islands of sanity. Doing this helps create a space for the people that you care about and the people who really resonate with you and your story to come and join you in your community, to be a part of what it is that you're doing, and to find that voice when they aren't getting it any longer from their daily lives or even the people in the media, right? People also need people to trust, right? And we talked about this as well. Finding information from people that you trust is really, we need it so badly right now. Like I find myself really relying on the people more in my close network right now for the good information than I do often turning to a lot of the big news. So be that person. It's really important. And mostly we need it for connection. I'm so grateful to have people that I connect with online. And I've noticed that since the lockdowns have started, my connections have grown. Like, I find that I'm in touch with people that I haven't spoken to in years right now because of this lockdown. I am talking to people who I've been connected to on whether it's like LinkedIn or here on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram for a while, and we just never spoke, but now we're talking. So connection is super important right now. It's super helpful. So starting your online community is really helpful to create connection, okay? So all of this being said, 3 do's and don'ts then, for if you're starting your channel, you're growing your channel, what to be doing when you're speaking out online right now, okay? So the first thing is do use the Socrates test on anything that you're saying, okay? And by the way, I want you to know I use all of these 3 rules for myself as well, okay? 3 do's and don'ts. So use the Socrates test. What is that? There's 3 parts to it. The first is what you're saying. Is it true? Is it true? If it's not true, then, right, you could just stop right there. And we'll talk about this in a second, right? We need truth more than anything right now. There's so much misinformation going around. Truth is at a premium. Tell the truth, okay? The next thing, is it kind? Is it kind? Is it going to make somebody else feel good? Is it going to help somebody else's life be better? Is it going to help improve somebody else's life? We need all the kindness in the world that we can get right now. So is what you're saying true, and is it kind? And the last thing is of this part is it necessary? Is it necessary to say this, right? So it might be true, it might be kind, but if you're jamming up the airwaves for no reason, think about like, is this something that is helpful, right? And there's a lot of ways to be helpful. And I'll talk about a really, really easy way to be helpful here just in the last piece. But is it true? Is it kind? And is it necessary? Okay. The Socrates test. I love this one. Run anything you're going to say by it. I ran this exact presentation through this test as well before, right? Everything I'm telling you is absolutely true. Is it kind? Yes, I want to help you. And is it necessary? Yes. This is a major debate right now among so many people, especially people who are selling something. Like they're wondering, should I just stop selling altogether? Should I stop marketing what it is that I'm doing? Is it true? Is it kind? And is it necessary? Right? Especially necessary. Okay. Point number 2, do not ever spread harmful or wrong facts. Okay. If the information will hurt people, just don't send it. Just don't send it right now. Like you can be, controversial, you can push buttons, but just don't be sending out hurtful information. And especially on that same thing, like don't be sending out wrong information. Okay. Check your facts. If you're talking about facts, talk about them. If you are talking about the like health implications of COVID-19, then you would better be a doctor or you better be referencing a doctor, right? There is a lot of temptation to create panic for attention right now. And there are other ways to get attention besides panic. I know it's really, really easy, and it's really easy to jump on the bandwagon, especially when a lot of the general news media has already started this pathway of creating mass hysteria and what have you. And yeah, what's happening right now is really, really rough, and it's really painful, and a lot of people are going to get wrapped up in this, and they already are wrapped up in this. People are dying. A lot more people are dying than we ever expected, and this is a horrifying situation. So, if you need to say something that's not going to land super well, just make sure you get your facts right, okay? And if you're not a doctor, don't pretend that you're a doctor. Go talk to a doctor, interview a doctor. It's great content for your feed, all right? So yeah, do not share harmful or wrong, misleading information, okay? But do, and this is number 3, do this. And this is so easy, right? Do share how you feel. Do share what's going on with you. That will always be true. How you are experiencing this crisis, how you are either getting depressed right now or how you are moving forward, that's really valuable information. That's really good stuff that we want to hear about, that I want to know about. And that's probably the biggest thing that we can do for each other right now, is to really be open and honest and to share what it is that we're thinking, how we're feeling right now, how are we experiencing this crisis ourselves. I can hear all day long from the CDC or doctors or people who are masters of industry or whatever about here's what the disease is doing. Here is what we're likely to see in the next couple of weeks, even though we know that a lot of that stuff is going to change, right? Here's what the stock market is doing, what have you. But for me, the really, really valuable stories are, how are the people in my neighborhood going from day to day, right? How are the people in my profession, so in my case, digital marketing, how are other people dealing with the unique challenges every day in my niche group that this is causing? How are my friends doing, right? How are my family doing? How are people in other areas of the world? This is the time to start sharing how you're feeling, to start talking about what this means to you. And I think that if you're not doing this because you don't think anybody wants to hear about it, then I guarantee you that they do. Just put up a video today, tomorrow, and tell me the results, because I'll guarantee you people want to know how you are experiencing this. And as long as you're being honest about it too, right? As long as you're being honest and authentic about what's going on. And people will connect with you. People will connect with you. This is always true information, and it's always so valuable information. Okay? So use the Socrates test. Is it kind? Is it true? Is it necessary? Don't spread harmful or misleading information, and tell us how you feel. Do tell us how you feel, okay? Talk about what's going on with you. That's what I'm trying to do here as well. Every day. It's not the easiest thing in the world, and it certainly takes it takes some digging to do that. But that is my goal here, is to talk about what I'm going through in this particular experience, what I'm seeing. I'm doing a lot of research in this whole process as well. Trying to keep an eye on the news and share this stuff with you. So yeah, so I hope that this has been helpful. And if you are looking for a community, if you would like to talk a little bit more about this and you're interested perhaps in doing something else, doing something new, like starting a podcast, starting your weekly lives, what have you, we've got an awesome community of folks who are also doing the same thing. And I would love for you to join us. We are in the Abundance Hackers group on Facebook. I will put a link here in the chat, but also just search for Abundance Hackers on Facebook. And drop us a line. Drop me a line here. Tell me what's going on. Let me know what you think about this. Is this helpful? Did you find this true, kind, and helpful? Right? So thank you so much. I hope that you're doing well. And stay safe, stay healthy, stay socially distant, but digitally connected.